everyone. Happy Saturday. Before we get started on today's forecast, I actually do want to just kind of tell you about a few active areas right now still showing up on our traffic maps dealing with some flooding up toward the mountains. I have Guy Ford Road closed from Peoria Road to US 321, Del Coffee Road closed from Roby Green Road to Ridge Road. Brookshire Road closed from North Carolina's 194 to Gross Covert Road. We have Red-tailed Hawk Road closed from DeWitt Barnett Road. I hope I said that correctly, to Ryan's Place. And then Puckett Road closed from North Carolina's 194 Banner Elk Highway to River Run Road. So we have, of course, had more areas of flooding yesterday, but those are kind of still some that are still creating some issues on our roads this morning. So I encourage everyone, especially in the mountains and foothills, to use caution on the roadways. We're still seeing some slick spots, but especially those areas dealing with flooding yesterday. I was looking at some data from last year and the year before, actually just talking about November tropical systems with Nicole. Today also the 2-year anniversary of the Hiddenite family campground flooding there in Alexander County. Horrible situation there. I did a story last year on the 1-year anniversary with the emergency management director. So all that, of course, the flooding thankfully yesterday wasn't as bad. All of that really unfortunate and really sad. I think it's also a good reminder sometimes that we can get these tropical impacts in November. So yesterday was kind of a mess. And of course, 2 years ago was horrible. So let's talk about today's forecast because I know the cloudy conditions right now maybe look a little bit gloomy for many of you, but I promise it's going to get better in a few spots. We do have sunshine peeking through the clouds at times this afternoon, but still dealing with a little bit of patchy fog. Another thing that's been really notable this morning is how humid it has been. Dew point still in the upper 50s to lower 60s, a very muggy air, especially for this time of year in November. But you'll notice as you look at this dew point forecast map is that as we get closer to tonight and into tomorrow morning, the colder air moves in, the drier air moves in too. So you kind of get a 1-2 punch there. It is going to feel cooler, but a lot drier too. Now, right now, we're also tracking a short wave that's kind of moving just to our north. You can see that moving through parts there of Kentucky and Kentucky and Tennessee, that is, excuse me, and moving into parts there of Western Virginia. I do think that the northern half of the mountains especially could get clipped by some of those spotty showers here within the next few hours. So definitely be aware of that, especially for areas that have already been negatively impacted by flooding this morning. Oh, I accidentally just threw my clicker, so let's get another one, shall we? Let's see. Okay, here it goes. So the rest of today, you can kind of see what I was just talking about with the getting a few of those showers kind of clipping the northern half of the viewing area closer to 1 o'clock. Again, you can see the sunshine for the rest of the Charlotte Piedmont. So really, I think these lower in rain chances will be pretty centered up toward those areas north of I-40. And then you can see a few more sprinkles over toward Alexander County, parts of Catawba County, over toward Iredell there in Statesville this afternoon and evening. And then we pretty much wrap up that rain chance as we hit the latter half of the day. Again, I don't think we have a lot of rainfall potential here in the Charlotte area, and we're definitely too warm for snow. Can't say the same though tonight for the mountains. In fact, our overnight low in Charlotte drops to 41, but their lows drop to the upper 20s, which is definitely cold enough to see a few snowflakes. Now, because we've been warmer, I'm hard pressed to believe a lot of this will stick, maybe a dusting at best, but that'll be at those higher elevations. You can see that of Ashwaubenon and Avery counties, especially toward the Tennessee border. There is the chance, yes, that a few flakes will fall tonight into tomorrow. So here's kind of the hour by hour look for both Saturday and Sunday. This, of course, for Charlotte. You can see a few more clouds this morning, temps in the upper 60s, and then eventually partly cloudy 70s this afternoon. And then, of course, lots of sunshine, but a lot colder tomorrow. I mentioned the 41, that's the low tonight in Charlotte, and then 55. You can see that on Sunday is the high temperature for tomorrow. So we're definitely getting this cold front bringing in a big change in our forecast. You can see, of course, it's sliding off the coastline. That low, the big L, is the remnants of Nicole, moves away from the New England states by at least tomorrow afternoon. And after that, high pressure briefly briefly builds in and kind of brings us that cold air and drier air too. Oftentimes when we talk about high pressure, it means calm conditions, but it doesn't always mean calm and 70 degrees. It's that sinking motion of air dries us out and keeps our conditions clear from rain and storms a lot of times, but it doesn't always mean, of course, that we're going to be warm. So this cold Canadian high pressure comes in from the north, and the next week, you're going to need a jacket, probably even in the afternoons. Our next change really comes with our next chance of rain. I think that the cold air pretty much sticks around from Sunday, tomorrow, all the way through next weekend. But we do have another cold front coming in that'll bring us some chances for rain on Tuesday and early Wednesday. You can see that 60 to 20% chance for those 2 days. What's interesting about this is because it really comes in at the perfect time that we're already cold. It does not look like it's going to be a warm or muggy rain. It's going to be a cold and chilly rain. Highs only in the upper 40s. Now, this day, Monday night into Tuesday morning especially, I think could also be our next chance of a few snowflakes. So if you don't see them tonight, I actually do think Monday night and Tuesday night we could see a few flurries also in the mountains, as they're also going to see that rainfall potential, and it will again be cold enough to see some of that. And that oftentimes, well, it happens way more often up there than it does in the Charlotte area. And a lot of questions, of course, of why. Well, we typically have the subtropical jet over us during the summertime and into early fall. It starts to kind of break down and travel a little bit further south toward the state of Florida mostly. And then the polar jet stream has an opportunity to start to dip down. It has a little bit at times so far this season, but really not totally over the Carolinas. You can kind of see that dipping over us as we head toward most of next week, and that's contributing to our colder air. So again, other than the exception of Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll have the highs keeping us mostly calm, but the cold air surely settling in. In fact, the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center shows a really, really big swath of cold air for the center part of the country. You see the darkest blue shading up toward Minneapolis, toward Montana, even dipping as far south as Missouri. It's going to be 90% chance essentially of below average temperatures and a lot colder than us here, even in the Charlotte area. We pretty much have that 50-50 shot. I think at this point it's pretty notable that we will be colder than normal. I think the trick is going to be how much colder. Model's pretty consistent over the next week that most days will be in the 50s and most nights will be in the 30s. But I do think we could see some fluctuation, especially as we get closer to next weekend. I think that's more of a wild card in terms of temperatures, because we know if we get a lot of sunshine, we get any bit of southerly wind, things will start to warm up a little bit. So 73 degrees today. Again, it's still muggy out there in spots. Overnight lows today, or tonight, at least here in Charlotte, 41. Struggling to reach the mid 50s tomorrow with sunshine. And then there's Tuesday, that raw day, 60% chance of rain, only highs in the upper 40s. And we kind of stay consistent there. You see with those highs all the way through the 7-day forecast and even eventually into that 10-day forecast. So again, I think next weekend could be a little bit of a wild card. It could be a little bit warmer for that Charlotte 49ers next home football game. That's the CLT you see there. The little thing in the C is a pickaxe, if you didn't know, for the Niners. Did a little bit of research on the logo there last weekend, because before I thought for some reason it was a plane. That's besides the point. Of course, but I do think it could be a little bit warmer, but you just should be prepared for it to at least feel cooler no matter what. And of course, tailgating should at least be dry. So that's the forecast over the next week. Things definitely changing here in the Charlotte area. But before we get to those changes, let's talk about a few things that you can do this weekend if you're trying to maybe enjoy that one last warm day that we have. Of course, the Charlotte Marathon was this morning, where there's also the markets at 11 going on at Valentine Backyard today, starting at 11 a.m. This is an open air market with live music, outdoor yoga, picnics, wine, food trucks, local vendors, and a lot more. That sounds really, really fun. And then tomorrow, a great event raising money, of course, for a good cause here. This is the Lowe's Pajama Party, little walk. That looks kind of fun. It's at McAlpine Creek Park tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. They're helping raise money for Friendship Circle and Zap's Place. So you'll love a good cause. And then last but certainly not least, and I am still sad that I did not make it out there this week. I'm hopefully will be able to go a different day. I just need to get myself some tickets purchased. But the Southern Christmas Show, I am 100% one of those people who tries to wait until after Thanksgiving to start to put up Christmas decorations and things like that. But the Southern Christmas Show, a really great way to get in the holiday spirit, but also I think just spend times with friends and family. It's a really fun time. It really gets you in the spirit. And of course, they have a lot of cool local vendors. vendors from across the Carolinas. Again, I went last year and it was really, really great. And I went for work, and then also for fun, went and bought some tickets after. So that's going on now through November 20th, different kind of times every single day. So you'd want to go to our website, WCNC.com. We have a link for more information, but it's at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Expect traffic. I know yesterday and the day before, I think was kind of a nightmare getting there, partially because we also had rain. And there were unfortunately, some crashes and some of them even turning deadly. That was really, really, really sad. So please, of course, use, caution, but I'll be prepared for some of that, traffic getting off, especially if you're getting off at the Bojangles Coliseum exit. And then, of course, just fun little fact there, it's the largest Christmas show in North America. You can get apparel, decor, jewelry, houseware, toys, and so much more. I actually got a collar last year for Roger there that he really, really likes. That's my dog, for those of you who don't know. And actually, his birthday's tomorrow, so fun little fact there. I hope everyone has a great weekend. I know after the rain and the storms that we had the past 2 days, probably looking to do something fun. Hopefully you're able to get outside and enjoy. And actually, I just realized in the shot of me that you can actually see I have some dresses hanging back there. I came in this morning prepared to wear this like kind of reddish pinkish dress, really, really cute. And then I realized that my Florida Gators, my Gator Blue, I forgot that they were playing the Gamecocks today. One of our producers, Carlene, one of my best friends at work, is a Gamecocks fan. She went to USC and was a cheerleader dancer there. So I realized that I could not, of course, wear that color. I had to wear my Gator Blue. So for you Gamecocks fans out there, I hope you have a great day. Of course, I'm not going to say that I hope you guys win the game, because that would be a truly not telling the truth. But I hope you have a great day too. So have a great, wonderful Saturday, everybody, and enjoy probably the last warm Saturday of college football we have in 2022. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.